Hey guys, hope everyone's doing alright with all the coronavirus stuff that's going on. I've been working from home, so I've had a little bit of time to think about the golf swing and fun concept. And this is just a concept, so I'm not going to be using the golf club. I'm just going to be using a bowl to kind of demonstrate what I'm thinking. So if you gave me this bowl and a target down that way and asked me to throw it, look like that. Pretty efficient. Probably the most efficient way you can propel the ball would be an overhand throw. The problem with an overhand throw in golf is the impact. So in golf, we have one fixed point that doesn't move that we have to pass through, and that's the golf ball. That's impact. So if I was doing an overhand throw and my impact's here, and I just go here, my release isn't until out here. Impact was way back here, so I would be here, and I would have all this unexpended energy here, and all this in it, like the forward motion, the bending motion, all that, just not being utilized at all. Even if I didn't bend, let's say I was trying to stay in my kind of posture and where I'm starting, like I'm still getting here and still have release up here. So my release is too far from impact, and that's what I see in most golf swings. Isn't that they're like, you have some people who cast early, but most of the time what I see is like everything held through impact and then released after impact, and that's just wasted energy. So what do I see people do to kind of expend more of that energy? Well, instead of throwing or swinging at their target, they'll swing or throw out to right field. That gives you a little bit. So here's my release point now, and then here's impact. So it's bringing it in from here to here, you're expending more energy, and I think that's the way most golf is taught. And I said, hey, it's about runway. So it's here to here, right? If I'm throwing straight this way, I'm holding the ball about here, and I'm throwing it, and that's all the runway I have. Well, if I throw the ball out there, my runway is still the same, but I'm getting more. Runway is still the same, but if I'm throwing out that way, I get more rotation, so more runway to go through. So that's the only way that you can speed up your club at impact is just creating more runway that way by shifting where you're swinging out to the right 45 degrees. I'm not a big fan of that, just because then you're not swinging at your target, and I always want to be swinging at my target. I'm a very, very simple person. I see it and throw it at it. If I have to spin it by throwing it that way and then spinning it back, that is not sustainable for me. So then I've mentioned in the past where, well, if this is the shortest motion, I think it's the most efficient. Well, a longer motion would be to throw underhand. Look like that. And it does give you a longer runway to take off, so it might not go as fast. Like the acceleration might not be as fast, but the speed at impact would be higher because it had a longer runway to go. And even that has left me like not super satisfied. I just can't figure out a way to go underhand that's, one, is as efficient as going overhand, and two, like I'm still, when I'm coming into impact, like if I was throw this underhand, I'm still not, my release point's still up here. And then, so that's not really getting me any closer to releasing at impact than where I was. And then I was thinking, so all of these, I'm basically throwing here or here. I'm playing the game of golf in front of my body. And I don't think that's the way you necessarily have to play golf. Jack Nicklaus said he tried to keep his back to the target for as long as possible. Well, why would he do that? And do we have to play golf facing our target? Could I face away from the target and figure out a way to throw it towards the target. And if I did, what would that look like? Well, I thought about it, and that motion kind of looks like that. That's how I would throw it. And I'd still be an overhand motion. And an overhand motion to me is naturally more effective than an underhand motion. Now, that's a really weird feeling for me. I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried it, but to me that's really weird. Well, golf isn't played straight on or behind you. It's played from the side, and that's fine for an overhand throw. In baseball, the way we teach kids to throw, because most kids start off throwing like this, a shot put motion, we'll raise the ball and have them throw down. And then once they can throw down, then we'll lower their elbows so they have more leverage, and they can use the same motion there. And then the next step we do is turn the body side on and throw. So that to me is golf has always been that motion. I would bend and throw. It would always be in front of my body, always throwing that way. Well, I'm thinking that maybe because when I'm throwing even this way, my release is still way out here. Well, I need that release back here by impact. If I try this concept where instead of playing in front of my body, that I'm trying to go backwards and throw that way, my release is right at impact. So instead of trying to go this way with the golf swing, and instead I go that way with the golf swing, that's where I'd be releasing. And I'm getting spine tilt away. You can see my shoulders are much more closer to parallel with my target line. I'm not rotated open. I'm more vertical and in parallel with the line. And I have a feeling that this is probably a little bit closer. This playing golf behind me is a little bit, so like I'm trying to throw that way, and that's how I would throw it that way. I'm just a lot closer to my max efficiency versus what I had been doing. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to go out to the range and test this. I have been swinging a couple golf clubs doing it that way, and it feels pretty unusual at first, but you can definitely feel all the speed of an overhand throw, and it feels good to be releasing towards the target, throwing at the target versus 45 degrees off like you do with a lot of like swinging out to right field or anything like that. So just a concept. Don't know if it holds a lot of weight, but I think it's something that will be pretty intriguing to explore once we get out of this quarantine mess. Thanks, guys. Bye.